Dr. Manish Asudani, sir. Can we start?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Good afternoon, respected dignitaries, all the participants, and my fellow colleague. I am Dr. Abdul Razak, co-coordinator of this 1 week online Aicte-Atal FDP and associated with Computer Science and Engineering Department, Anjuman College of Engineering and Technology, Lucknow. Today, we have Dr. Pooja Jain, madam, as an expert. Madam has already conducted one session on natural language processing in the previous session. It is our privilege that we invited Madam again to deliver the session. The topic of today's session is natural language processing in healthcare. As we already know, Madam is from Indian Institute of Information Technology, Nagpur, IIT Nagpur. Madam is having experience, industrial as well as academic experience. She has worked with IBM India Private Limited, CSC India Private Limited, and as an academician, she has worked with JUIT Solan, IIT Kota. Presently working with IIT Nagpur since 2018. Madam has joined the session, so without any more delay, I request Madam to take over the session. Madam,
yes, sir.
Take over the session and start your session, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
So thank you so much, Abdul sir, and thank you the entire team of Anjuman for inviting me again for another session. And I hope the previous session was understandable and useful for the participants. In continuation with what we discussed last time, we talked about natural language processing. So in this session, basically, we'll look into an application of NLP, that is healthcare. Last time only I told you that we'll not talk about more of theory of NLP because we have already done a lot of theory. We'll concentrate ourselves towards practical implementation. खातिब सर, एक रिक्वेस्ट है, ये जो बार बार टू होता रहता है, ये हो सकता है क्या कुछ जो लोग आते रहते हैं इसकी साउंड कम हो जाए या कुछ हो जाए उसका?
I will find it out.
ठीक है सर, प्लीज। वो बहुत ही नहीं सॉरी की कोई बात नहीं है, तो गूगल मीट की प्रॉब्लम है बट वो बहुत ही डिस्टर्बिंग है।
Yes, I will find out.
ठीक है सर, थैंक यू सर।
Please proceed.
ये तो ठीक है, I'll switch off my video because last time अब्दुल सर said कि उसकी वजह से थोड़ा सा लैग होता है। Yes, so today we'll discuss about NLP in healthcare. What are the different applications of NLP in medical domain? And I was told that there are certain doctors also in this particular workshop. So this would be a beneficial session for them in which they will discuss, in which I will discuss that how NLP is used in the medical domain. So let's go for it. I hope my screen is visible. Yes. NLP in healthcare. So basically, I have not created a lot of slides on this because I would be concentrating more on the hands-on, as I mentioned. So I'll share the data set with you and we'll do some sort of implementation, assuming that 90% of you know Python. So we'll do the implementation and I'll go step by step. Even if you know the basics of Python, you would be able to do the implementation with me. So NLP is basically to analyze and interpret the unstructured medical text data. Actually, what happens is that the medical data is always unstructured because it is simple text. Even if you see the doctor's prescription, what he writes, first of all, his writing is, as you must have seen many jokes and memes on doctors' handwriting. So a lot of research has already been gone on understanding the handwriting of doctors. So that is one NLP problem that you can take up, understanding the prescriptions, medical prescriptions. So that is one application of NLP. And the second NLP application is finding out the data from the electronic health records. Now, electronic health records is something which India is also gaining a lot of importance on that. Till now, America and Europe and many of the countries have got into EHR, electronic health records, in which with your unique identification, all your health records would be saved at one place. For example, if you go to a hospital in Nagpur, uh, then your tests were done, like your BP, your sugar, your वो जो वो ग्राफ होता है अरे यार दिमाग से उतर गया एकदम, जो हार्ट का ग्राफ होता है, ईसीजी, यस हाँ सॉरी, ईसीजी हुआ आपका, और या जितने भी आपके टेस्ट हुए, अल्ट्रासाउंड हुआ वगैरह वगैरह, सो वॉट एवर द टेस्ट यू हैव डन इन नागपुर, and then you go to, for example, Delhi. Correct. So this is the problem that we are facing currently, that all the hospitals are getting their tests done separately. Whenever you go to Delhi, the Delhi doctor or Ames Delhi will say that I don't believe in the test reports what the doctors have given in Nagpur, and I'll have all the tests again. So to avoid this, what the government is trying to do is that if a test has been done in Nagpur, then the same tests would be valid throughout the country with this electronic health records. So your record would be updated with the values, the parameters of ECG, ultrasound, BP, sugar, thyroid, etc., etc. So all these reports and your records would be at one place, uh, linked with your Aadhaar card, Aadhaar number. So if you enter the Aadhaar number, all your details come at one go. So now you don't have to carry your reports everywhere, wherever you are going. And most importantly, you don't have to repeat your tests. So this is EHR, which India is progressing towards it. Now, once that record has been done, now it's the duty of the NLP to figure out exactly what the parameters are required. Like, for example, if I say I want to check for the thyroid thing. Now, in the case of the thyroid, I may need BP and sugar, but I don't need the reports of your ultrasound. That is not required. Or if somebody is suffering from fever, then I may need his BP and the sugar levels, but again his thyroid levels are not required. So it all depends upon the diagnosis that you are going for. Some of the parameters may be important and some of the parameters may not be important. So in such cases, we need to extract only the relevant information from your EHR. So this is one of the applications. And secondly, on the basis of your symptoms, instead of going to the doctor, the system in itself would be able to tell you that you are suffering from fever or you are suffering from malaria, etc., etc. So this is clinical decision making, which we are trying to do, but we have not gained much of a success in this. I am already in touch with Ih&Ms Nagpur, and we are doing some projects with them. The most important project that I'm doing with them as of now is their inventory management, because they don't have the doctor with which I am in touch with. He is the head, the center head for blood. So he needs to find out a prediction. He needs to develop a prediction model which can predict that what amount of blood would be required in which month. Now, if you feel as if this is a very vague thing to do, or this is not very applicable, but no, it is very applicable, because if you speak to any doctor, he would say that the months of August and the Septembers are the ones in which the maximum number of patients go to the hospital, because these are the months in which this is neither summers nor winters, and it is monsoon time. So people get ill very easily, especially the children. So if you speak to any doctor, he would say that the clinics are always full in the months of August and September. So from this data, you can do a lot of things. If you are able to analyze your past data, then you can figure out your inventory management, as in what amount of blood would you require Or for example, if you say O positive or AB negative are some of the blood groups which uh, don't really, are not very frequently visited blood groups. So this also can be analyzed from the past data. So of course, we cannot predict the accidents in which the blood is required in great extent. So apart from the calamities, but at least in the normal ways, we can predict the amount of blood which is required in the blood bank for next 4 days or next 1 week, looking at the past data. This is one of the projects that I'm doing. And the second one is on the basis of the stress level. Nowadays, people are suffering from stress a lot. The stress comes with lots of things, isn't it? मतलब ये जो हो रही है बार बार, ये वही है जो लोग आ जा रहे हैं. यस, उसी की है ये. बहुत ही डिस्टर्बिंग है ये एक्चुअली. ओके, तो कहाँ थे? We were discussing about the project, na? Yeah, stress. So one of my paper has been published in which the from the bass and the treble of your sound of your speech, that is how you are speaking, it can be identified what is your stress level. Imagine. So this is the way how NLP is being used in the medical domain, and you won't imagine the number of the problems that NLP can solve in medical domain is huge. But if you started the session, you must be wondering that क्या ही हो सकता है NLP से. But NLP is very useful, and in fact, I'll give you the link for the paper which my students have done, in which they have found out the detection of the stress level on the basis of your speech. So how you speak, what are the choice of the words that you are making, and what is the different, what is the interval of the words. From that, it can be identified that the person is under stress or not. And another student of mine has worked on suicidal thoughts. That is depending upon his tweets and posts and messages, you can identify that the person is having some suicidal instinct or not. And she has really done a good work in which she has published a paper in an international journal. Again, from the way a person writes, the choice of the words, you can identify that the person is not very happy with his life and he wants to end his life. So if such types of things can be found out with the help of technologies, why not? It is such a useful thing. You can prevent someone from taking his life, or you prevent someone from committing a suicide or doing some absurd things. So these are really, really very beneficial. clinical documentation and data extraction. Again, one of another project that I'm doing with the Tamege Institute of Vardha is clinical documentation, because the doctors are writing on paper, and this needs to be converted into e-copies so that the proper data can be extracted at intervals of time. And a complete project is being done in which we are converting their very few, as in now there is another LLM which has been made, which is known as MedPalms. MedPalms is particularly a large language model on the medical domain. From this LLM important, then clinical decision support system is, as what I said, you give the symptom name that which disease you are suffering from. Patient interaction and engagement. Nowadays, the doctors, the number of the doctors per people, per 100 number of people is very, very low. We are decreasing in the number of the doctors to a great extent. Now the doctors are not available every time. In such cases, you need to have a system through which the patients can interact with the doctors and have a proper engagement with them. So the patient should not feel as in he is not getting proper time from the doctors. So this is one of those types of systems which we can make. Population health and epidemiology is a population at one go is should not be at stake. Medical imaging reports, now in this a lot of work has already been done and being done. Yesterday only I was a session chair with one of the conferences at Jabalpur MPCon, which was an IEEE conference, and in there were 8 papers in that detection, skin cancer detection, breast cancer detection, then a disease, any type of disease detection. One was iris detection, that is to a different. So it's always different, so you can figure out from the normal ones, the normal people from the terrorist or something like that. Named entity recognition. Now, named entity recognition is actually recognizing the proper nouns, and I gave you a little bit of gist in my previous session. Like if you have a complete data, from that data can you figure out the names of the diseases, or the names of the particular names of the medicines that were given for those diseases, and can you figure out the names of the people associated with it. So this is named entity recognition, and this is useful in NLP to a great extent, particularly in health domain. Relation extraction. Do you have any relationship between paracetamol and fever? Between discipline and fever? No, but we do have a for my from my routine checkup. So what they did was they took a lot of data from me, starting from my very beginning. That is how many children I have. That what is the age of my child, and then do I suffer from any of the diseases, and if yes, then from how long I am suffering from it, or what are other complications that I may be having, and what are the medicines that I'm taking, etc., etc. So she took at least half an hour, my details, and when the doctor came in, she was a junior doctor, and when the doctor came in, she took only 2 minutes to just summarize what I told her. Correct. So this is summarization, because she is asking me so many questions, and of all those questions, maybe I'm giving answers as no, 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 no. She said, "Do you have any urine infection?" I said, "No." "Do you have any problem with the stomach?" I said, "No." So for so many questions, I gave no. So she can very well summarize the thing that okay, she is if she tells about me that okay, she is absolutely fine with respect to her digestion system, but she is facing so and so problem, like this. So this is known as summarization. Speech recognition is, of course, very important in healthcare again, because as I mentioned, from the way the person is speaking, you can identify that the person is not feeling well, or the person is having some suicidal instincts, or the person is under stress, etc., etc. So a large number of language models are being used. As I mentioned, Llama BERT is one of them, BioBERT is there, MedPalms is there, Clinical GPT is there, etc., etc. So there are certain challenges in healthcare. First of all, biases and fairness is very important in the case of healthcare, because I cannot afford any true negatives and false negatives. So you have something as true positive, false positive, true negative, and false negative. These are the very four important things whenever you are trying to evaluate any machine learning model. So suppose if I say my objective is to is the person suffering from cancer. Or I say the person is suffering from cancer. This is actually the prediction. I want to figure out if the person is suffering from cancer. Okay? So I would say true positive. Prediction is suffering from cancer, and actual is suffering from cancer. Okay? So the person is actually suffering from cancer, and when I applied the machine learning model, then also it predicted that the person is suffering from the cancer. This is true positives. True negatives is also correct. Prediction is not suffering, and actual is not suffering. So this makes sense. ठीक है ना? जो मेरा prediction था वही actual है, तो ये तो एकदम perfect है. तो these two are absolutely fine. Now what is false positive? False positive is prediction is suffering, but actual is not suffering from cancer. And false negative is prediction is not suffering, but actual is suffering. Yeah, has cancer or suffering from cancer whatsoever. So if you just see these false positives and the false negatives, these are very, very dangerous and very deadly. False positive says the prediction is suffering from cancer, but actually he didn't have any cancer at all. See how deadly it is. And in fact, the false positives are the most deadly things in the case of medical health domain. The person was not having cancer, and you started treating him with the cancer. You started giving him medicines for cancer, but he was actually not suffering from cancer. Very, very deadly, very problematic, very dangerous. And false negative in itself is also very, very dangerous. That is, this is false diagnosis. This is improper diagnosis. The person was suffering from cancer, but the system said no, he is not suffering from cancer, and you have not given enough medicines for him to cure. And again, very deadly. Again, very, very deadly. So this is you were not able to diagnose it properly. Correct? But false positives are really very, very problematic. That the person was not having cancer, and you started telling him that, okay, you have a cancer, and जब एक इंसान को कैंसर नहीं है और आप बोल रहे हो कैंसर है, तो वैसे ही आपने उसकी आधी जान ले ली है। एक जन को आप ऐसे बोलो कि उसको कैंसर है और जबकि उसको नहीं था, तो आपने तो पहले ही उसको मार दिया बेसिकली। So false positives are very, very problematic in the case of medical domain. We should try to avoid this, and that is the biggest challenge in the case of NLP, the bias and fairness. That is, you cannot afford to have any problems in that. And the second very important is medical privacy and HIPAA compliance. As I mentioned, some few days back, I went to Ih&Ms. So Ih&Ms is actually suffering a lot from this data privacy thing. When he is trying to develop a model on the patient's data, HIPAA is not allowing him to do that. He says that the patient data cannot be used in any case. And if the patient data cannot be used, how will I be able to do the analysis? So until and unless I have some 500, 1,000 patients data, I cannot come up with any predictions. I cannot do the analysis on the data set. I cannot go ahead with any of the things. So they are actually facing a lot of problem, and in fact, we did sign a MOU with Ih&Ms that we can use their patient data. And again, he asked me to write a mail to their dean and to their head, saying that I want that data. And those patient data is also hidden. They just write patient ID numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know that this is the data of Pooja Jain or this is the data of Abdul Sir. Nowhere. We cannot know it at any cost. Still, HIPA doesn't allow you to take the data. So there are so many restrictions, and there are so many you can say obstructions when you try to get the data and you try to implement anything, any model on that. Then medical jargon and abbreviations, I face a lot of problem with this. I'm a total maths person. In 11th, 12th, I had maths. I'm a computer science engineer, MTech and PhD. I have never studied bio after 10th. I don't know anything about bio, so that is why मुझे ECG और CNG एक ही जैसा लग रहा था, बार-बार confuse हो रही थी ECG में, मुझे CNG याद आ रहा था. So you have not studied bio from such a long time, 20, 25 years you have not studied bio. And in 10th also you studied only the things that was actually required to pass in the board examinations. So it is all jargon for me. So such is a problem. So whenever I try to do any project with Ih&Ms, I always have this problem that I'm not able to understand their language, especially the Chinese. I'm doing a project with the Gynae also, and she says so many that I'm getting from that black person who's in charge of the blood center. Then I data is data, lungs ka data, then integration with the HR system, electronic health record, already I'm going to say, but I'm able to speak theories such as genetic society already is not use doing knowledge. They think only by writing only. And if you are not reading the personalized system, which can give you various as well. And for this, you don't have to install anything. I've shared the link of Collab. Thank you, Khatib sir. Once you have opened Collab, click on New Notebook. You can change the name of the file from here. Let's import some of the very important libraries which are used the most. NumPy and Pandas. Okay. So Collab is actually very intelligent. It is able to, you can say, complete the codes. I will be sharing two data sets with you. So let me share the data set. So there's a test file and there's a train file. Just check if you can access the data set. Got it? Okay. So how do you do that is you just click on this rectangular button. Click on this rectangular button and then you can upload the two files that I have just shared with you. Train and test. So you'll be able to see these two files here. Just give me a yes once you are through. Because this is a first preliminary step in solving any machine learning problem that you have to load the data set. You have to get the data set uploaded here. Until and unless the data set is uploaded, you won't be able to do anything. Done. Able to upload the data set. Once you are uploaded the data set, then you can just say df is equal to pd dot read underscore csv and the name of the file corona nlp read dot csv. Invalid continuation. एनकोडिंग इज इक्वल टू लैटिन 1 कर देंगे तो वो एरर नहीं आएगी. And then you can just check the head means the first 5 rows of the data set. So if you see the screen username, screen name, location, tweet at, original tweet. And what is a sentiment? So basically this is a sentiment analysis data set. This is a sentiment analysis data set, and this is a neutral advice talk to your neighbors, family to exchange, etc. Coronavirus, Australia, Woolworths to give this. Me ready to go at supermarket to this supermarket during this. So this is extremely negative. So such types of data set, such types of sentiment analysis has been done. Once you are able to train your model on these sentiments, and then a test data would be given to you, and on the basis of these training you have to predict that the person is having a sentiment of positive or negative. So as I was telling you, from the tweets and from the message the person writes, you can identify that the person is going through a tough time or not, or what are the sentiments of the person, what are the emotions of the person, can be very well figured out from the tweets, from the messages, from the speech that the person is using. Just give me a yes if you are able to read the data set the way that I have shown you. In fact, let me share this code with you. Okay, I'll wait here for 2 minutes for each one of you to click this collab code and see if you can execute the code. Are you able to access the file and execute the code? Keep in mind that you have to upload these two data sets here. Now, if you see, username and the screen name are the two columns which I don't need. So I can drop the column. I can simply say df is equal to df dot drop columns is equal to where I can simply say drop. Yes. So I don't want the time. I do want the location. So let me do not remove the location as of now. I remove the username and the screen name and tweet at. So if I just say df dot head, now the three columns will not be there. If I just want to check the df dot shape, so this will tell me that it consists of 41,000 rows with three columns. What are the three columns? Location, original tweet, and the sentiment. What are the null values here? Oh, it has a huge number of null values, 8590 null values. So let's replace the null values. Df is equal to df dot replace np dot none with not known. So now if I check for the null values, they would be none. See, I don't have any null values now. Why I have not removed location? Because it matters from where the person is giving a tweet and whether the person is having a positive or a negative sentiment. So what does it say? Me ready to go at supermarket during the COVID is extremely negative because the person has really मतलब ना अब मैं थक गया हूँ, बोर हो गया हूँ, परेशान हो गया हूँ, तो मुझे सुपरमार्केट जाना ही जाना है. So that is why it is saying extremely negative. But if you see at the sentence, it's not very negative as such. If you talk about I'm going to the supermarket, it's not a negative statement. But I'm going to the supermarket during COVID times is a negative statement. Now, this is all categorical data. You cannot apply any machine learning model on the categorical data or any NLP model also on the categorical data. So we have to convert this categorical to numerical. So the best way to convert the categorical to numerical is using a label encoder. So we say LE. First, we need to include its library. So let's say from sklearn dot preprocessing import label encoder, and then we would use a label encoder in this. LE is equal to label encoder df sentiment is equal to lay, that is the LE fit transform df sentiment. So if I try to check the head, the sentiment would be converted into zeros and ones now. See, 3, 4, it's all numbers now. Label encoder 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this. So 0 is actually extremely negative. Positive is 4 and neutral is 3. See, these three are all positives and 0 was extremely negative. Check it out. I've already shared the code with you. Whatever I'm writing, you would be also getting an access to, and you can execute it at your own end. I'm copying the link again so that you people can try it out. Similarly, I can do it for text is equal to df original tweet. Now let's do a little bit of NLP thing. NLTK library, as we discussed last time, also has an important NLTK library. We import the stop words. Porter stemmer. RE is regular expressions. And let's create a set of the stop words and words. So this has created the complete English vocabulary, which contains all the words of the English. So like suppose if I say length of English vocab, these many number of words are present in this set. And stop words is the total number of stop words present in the dictionary. 198 stop words are present. Done, everyone? Now let's define a function which will clean the text. So I simply say clean text. Text is passed as a parameter. First of all, we convert everything to lower. नहीं, ये गलत है. सबसे पहले तो एक काम करते हैं, टेक्स्ट इज इक्वल टू वर्ड्स इफ वो इंग्लिश वोकैबुलरी में है और so we'll remove all the spaces, and this actually corresponds to any letter. So for word and words, if the word is in the English vocabulary and if it is not in the stop words, and also use a lematizer. And for using a word nerd lematizer, I would also need to include that library. So from nltk.stem import word net lematizer. Lemmatization is actually, I told you that there are different words. There are different forms of the same word: started, starts, starting, etc. So lematizer actually removes all the suffixes and the prefixes and gives you the base form of the word. So like suppose if I say starting, started, start, so it will remove all the suffixes and prefixes and give you start. This is important because I don't want the adverbs or such types of words. So I'll use the wordlet lematizer. So I'll take only those words. Words is equal to, yeah. So I'll lematize the word for word and words, and then I join the text. So this is my original tweet text. So wordnet. This will take a little bit of time because it is creating a clean text for all the text in the dictionary, in the data set. So I'll take the first 10 words only, and I have another column as cleaned text. So now we have got the cleaned text. Okay, I'm searching galat. Yes. Got it? So we have convert everything. See, capital T has been converted to small t. Now, all two has removed. Stop words have been removed. The stop words have been removed. And all the stemming has been done. Australia has been converted to small a. Now there is another two very important libraries that we can use. What I exactly I'm trying to do is to convert to word to vec. And remember we talked about word to vec in the last session. So from gensim.models, I'll import word to vec, and from gensim.utils, I'll import simple preprocess. These two libraries are also important. Gensim. I'm not sure how much you are able to understand what I am trying to code, but this is the way how you're going to implement NLP in the healthcare domain. So you have to use the Gensim libraries, you have to use the NLTK libraries, you have to do all those libraries. Got it? So it said I had to restart the session. So I'll run everything again and I would be able to do it. What I'll do is I have already implemented this and I have a file with me. I'll share that file with Abdul sir. Yes, stemming and lemmatization both can be used. It all depends upon the application that you are going for. I chose lemmatization. You can go ahead and do the stemming also. I'll share the complete code with you on word embeddings, in which it is creating a word embedding of we have already been able to clean the text and add a new column as a cleaned text. Now this clean text can be used for, let me show you. Now we already have added a column as clean text. Now this clean text can be used for the sentiment analysis. First of all, by creating the word to vec, that is creating a vectors out of this, and then from vectors you can find out that it is more similar to positive or it is more similar to negative. So in this way we can do the sentiment analysis. So sentiment analysis is actually a very commonly used NLP application. Recommendation system is another application. These are all NLP applications, and I've shown you an example of sentiment analysis in the medical domain, because this is a coronavirus health, data set, and at the time of the corona people were going through a lot of stress and a lot of frustrations and everything. So from that you have to identify that the person is suffering from some problem, so can a proper treatment be done to that person. Got it? Similarly, you can do a medical image reporting. There are so many data sets available on Kaggle. Just go to kaggle.com and you just simply write medical imaging, and you will get a lot of data sets related to it. X-ray, medical imaging, comms, medical imaging. So from this, let's see, this is all the data set. So you can download all this data set and try implementing the CNN model, or try implementing any other image related pro model on this. This is one way. Or medical imaging with NLP also can be done, in which you have this medical data multimodal, then you'll have to go for a multimodal X-ray images as well as the description of those X-ray images, annotations. It is known as annotation. So can you combine the annotations and the images and then come up with something, some new type of an analysis? All that can be done. So I believe I have come to an end of the session. And as I said, I will share that file with Abdul sir and he can share in turn with you all. And let me know if you have any doubts or questions on the code. I particularly chose to do a hands-on so that you get a feel कि ऐसा नहीं कि सिर्फ NLP theory में होता है. People are doing NLP practically also, and it's not only theory. Whatever we listen or whatever we hear, it's not only in not only in saying, we are actually doing it also. So any questions? I have shared my email ID with you. So if you have any questions or any anything that you want to discuss or you want to have any research problem discussion with me, go ahead with that. Or if you want to do any research in the NLP domain, feel free to write a mail to me. NLP is my domain, my research area, and I really love working in the NLP domain. I would be happy to have your mails related to any research problem that you want to discuss. Anything, I'm free for that. Thank you so much for joining the session. Yes, sir.
On behalf of Computer Science and Engineering Department, ACET Nagpur, I extend my sincere gratitude to Dr. Pooja Jain Madam for showing the insights and knowledge base on what is NLP and how it could be beneficial in the field of medical. A special thanks for sharing the hands-on using Google Colab and covering sentiment analysis. Also aware the audience about the ambiguity and challenges in NLP. Make it easier to understand that the machine understands only the numbers and how what to where can glow works. Thank you
Correct.
so much, madam, for your contribution.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Any questions?
Yeah, if the participants have any questions, they can use the chat box so that I can read it. It seems, madam, there is no question in the chat box.
या तो कुछ नहीं समझ आया या सब कुछ समझ में आ गया.
नहीं मैडम, it was a really a nice session. बहुत अच्छा session था.
Thank you. वही मुझे थोड़ा सा कोडिंग का डाउट था. सर ने बोला था बहुत से लोग मेडिकल डोमेन में हैं, but then those people who are into coding or a little bit of Python, for them implementation is important. Just
So
going through the theory
the
doesn't
libraries
make sense.
the libraries like NLTK, Jain, and means like I was always thinking about lemmatization or stemming, stop words removal. All things practically you have shown, madam. Thank you so much.
बहुत इजी होता है वो करना. ऐसा लगता है कि वो बहुत टफ होगा, but it's only a one line code. A one line code for lemmatization, a one line code for removal of the stop words. बहुत easy हो गई है अब coding. The only thing is कि we need to get our hands dirty on coding. That is important.
Thanks a lot, madam.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you all the participants. Thank you everyone for your participation. And thank you. Shall I leave, sir?
Yes, madam. Please.
Okay.
Please.
Thank you.